Good afternoon, this is your BTV News, broadcasting live from Gaborone. My name is Kailo Sabone with Amantle Babili on sign language. In the headlines, the Khosi in Khansi believe that education and stringent laws could help address social ills. While more than 2,000 would-be election voters rejected. And in sports, Ross Branch pleased to be a nominee for this year's Botswana Sports Award Sportsman of the Year. Dumelang, the Khosi in the Khansi South constituency are adamant that education and stringent laws could help address social ills affecting children. The Khansi South leadership further called on relevant stakeholders to collectively work together in addressing gender-based violence, child abuse, as well as substance and drug abuse and other social ills disrupting proper child upbringing. They made this plea during the First Lady Mene Masisi's meeting with the Khosi in Charles Hill before she addressed teenage mothers, boys and their parents.
Leaders comprising the Khosi and the area member of parliament apprised the First Lady of growing cases of defilement, teenage pregnancy, and other social ills in their villages, indicating that in most cases, these issues are exacerbated by cultural practices which disadvantage the girl child, sexual child abuse, child neglect, substance and drug abuse. The Khosi are adamant that education and strict laws could help address these challenges.
Child welfare protection. Michael Law when they were tied, they got that when they got hold once. Say more, say, says was this Thailand. Kore e thuto e tsene go botsadi
ra go ya gore go nyalanwa ke batsadi ha mo go ithola motsadi wa ngwana na le motsadi wa mosadi ana le ngwana go ithala go ma fosiwa gore ngwana a tsene mo lenyalo a tsebo ke re le go a se rra mo ke go le tsala ke re marona khanye o no o buella bana o ska e le bala ka gore e ba bana ka musi.
The First Lady vowed to not only create conversations around these issues, but rather an impact that can usher a new hope on the victims.
Teenage mothers, HIV, re bua gape ka seemo sa bone re bua gore ba ka tokagatsa jang matshelo a bone re tla kopana le borre le bana ba rona ba basimane re lemoga ha borre jaaka gone go builwe gantsi borre le bone ba irelang ole mathata a go gontso ya bong mme gape re batla go ba lemosa gore mme le lona re le borre ra le tlhoka mo ntweng ye.
The First Lady was also applauded for her advocacy initiatives. The Khosi are encouraged to spread messages that speak against social ills in their villages. BTV News, Charles Hill.
And still in Charles Hill, the First Lady Mene Masisi advised teenage mothers to learn from their mistakes and use their second chances to make better decisions that will add positive value to their lives. The First Lady also spoke words of hope to the teen mothers, encouraging them to utilize available information and initiatives to empower themselves. She also urged parents to abolish cultural practices which support child marriages and desist from withdrawing defilement cases before the courts of law.
19-year-old Batin's plans to pursue a career in hairdressing were shattered by an unexpected pregnancy immediately after completing her secondary education. Though she did not do well in her studies, her hopes were pinned on taking the vocational education route to make a living.
Go tshola ngwana ke le dingwaga tse di 19 go nkgoreleditse gore ke ka kgona go itirela mananeo yana go dira di-course tse di nyenyane yana jaaka bo hairdressing jaaka ke itse go loga yana ke ka be ke kgone go itirela ka diatla ke bona madi ke kgona go tshegetsa ba lelapa le nna yana.
Bateng is not the only one whose dreams were stolen by unintended pregnancies in the Khansi region, as statistics indicate a worrying increase of cases of teenage pregnancy. The reality of these young mothers now is learning to be a good parent as a child, struggling with stigma and other health risks.
Are you facing as a young person? Negative peer pressure, lack of transport. We can be affected by sexual transmitted infections. It can lead to emotional trauma.
The First Lady used this opportunity to speak words of hope to these teen mothers, encouraging them to utilize available information and programs to empower themselves.
Phoso ya diragala mme ngwana yo a inenehela go itlhela nako e leng gore nako e maleba a ke re la itse re phoso e tshabella ka ga e tsamang ka teng e kgona go tla gape la bobedi. Tota ebile ba botsogo, I'm very interested gore later ha re teen moms re lebeng gape ke ba e leng gore phoso e ne ya tla la bobedi ke eletsa go utlwa gape thata feedback e yone bao gore go na mathata a na tswa ha kae.
Parents were also urged to abolish cultural practices which support child marriages and desist from withdrawing defilement cases before the courts of law.
Bana ba na le tshwanela go gola sentle gore ba ye go thusa a tswe mo sekologolo sa gore a bona mosetsana le gore a akanya gore o lekane mme le gore a gore go na le tilo tsa sa di itlhelelang ke bua jaana ke mo molapelo ke seemo se e leng gore bana ba nna batsetsi ba nna bomme ka dinako tse di iseng di ba lekane ba tshwanetse gore ba gole ba tsene dikole ba re direle.
Re kgona go itemogela gore batsadi nna ba batlang go rona gore le re ntse re kgale go bua re le batsadi go kae kana motho o ga gana molato jalo re batla go etsaya ka o ka ditshelo ya go bua ka motho motho mme mola wa rona wa penal code o sireleditse ngwana ba fetso gore ngwana o pele go tla sa dingwaga tse 18 ha ka ba tlhakana dikobo le re wa ba le.
Relevant authorities were also encouraged to teach parents ways of openly communicating with their children on issues of HIV/AIDS, teenage pregnancy, and to implement effective initiatives that can help teen mothers to bounce back to their normal lives. BTV News, Charles Hill.
And the Independent Electoral Commission, the IEC, has revealed that a total number of 2,513 voters' registrations have been rejected. The Commission further revealed that out of that number, 2,261 of them were rejected on account of having registered more than once, whilst 205 of them had registered without satisfying the minimum age requirement. Moreover, those who have registered for 2024 general elections are advised to take responsibility and inspect the rolls which are now available at the IEC offices across the country to avoid queries in the roll on the day of the polls. And Botswana prison services are still in search of 4 Zimbabwean prisoners who escaped from Mahalape prison on the 10th of March. Amongst the 4, 2 suspects, namely Abraham Sibanda and Godfrey, were charged with rape, housebreaking, and illegal entry into the country, while Laston Ndlovu was charged with rape and Tabani Moyo was charged with common theft. The department and other law enforcement agencies are working tirelessly to ensure the recapture of the escaped quartet. And the Deputy Director General at the Directorate of Corruption and Economic Crimes, Me Erika Ndlovu, says there is a growing need for anti-corruption officers to have the requisite skills to collect and seize information from cyber equipment, as criminals increasingly use computers to commit fraud and other crimes. She said this at a 5-day cyber forensic first responder course organized by the Commonwealth Africa Anti-Corruption Center and South Africa's Special Investigations Unit in Gaborone. Tsulefelo Tombale.
The facilitators of the 5-day Cyber Forensic First Responder course, South Africa's Special Investigating Unit, highlighted that investigations of the Southern African region have not kept up with the rise in use and importance of technology, including its use to commit crimes. The unit therefore developed the Cyber First Responder program to capacitate its own officers and decided to share their training with other officers from the region to improve the quality of investigations in the SADC bloc.
Criminals are increasingly targeting computers and using computers to commit fraud and crimes. And as I said, more often than not, because they are faceless, and even their names, they do not put them up front.
We realize that investigations are very much traditional in respect of our methodology that we use, interviewing witnesses and collecting documents. But we also then realize that should we not capacitate our investigators with cyber forensics skills, in the next few years our investigations will become obsolete and we would not have an impact. It therefore then became very important that cyber forensic skills in terms of investigations are developed.
The co-facilitators of the event, the Botswana-based Commonwealth Africa Anti-Corruption Center, share the importance of Botswana's participation in the training.
We got the number from the DCEC. They were just picking or giving us those who are in most cases dealing with cases that needs people with the necessary skill in the area of cyber forensics. So they have picked those officers just to bring them here to come and share their experiences and also get information from other officers from other anti-corruption agencies.
The facilitators of the event revealed that they will also describe enabling legislation for cyber forensics from around the world that the officers can share with their countries to hopefully inspire positive changes there. Tsolefelo Tombale, BTV News, Gaborone.
You're watching BTV News and thank you for staying with us. Now, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Dr. Lemogang Kwape, has assured the SADC Electoral Advisory Council a full support from the government as they are on a pre-election assessment goodwill mission. He said that when the SADC Electoral Advisory Council paid him a courtesy call yesterday in Gaborone, Amohelang Malatlegi.
SADC Electoral Advisory Council was established in 2005 with a broad mandate of advising SADC on matters related to elections and good governance. As Botswana is gearing up for the general election in October this year, SADC Electoral Advisory Council is here on their routine to engage with government and non-governmental organizations such as the Independent Electoral Commission.
For elections. And we will submit, as I said, to whatever you need from us as government. You indicated that there must be laws governing this. Our Independent Electoral Commission is just that, an independent body that have their own statute that they adhere to. And nobody but the Secretary of the Commission actually have the powers when to register, how to register, where to register. It's all his responsibility to do that.
We are here to conduct a pre-election assessment mission, and amongst other objectives, Minister, we are here to assess if the political and security environments in the country are conducive for it to hold these elections freely, fairly, transparently, and peacefully.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Lemogang Kwape says Botswana is a democratic country, is happy to have the SADC Electoral Advisory Council here.
And my plea is that whoever you are engaging or the sample size that you're going to interview or interact with, if it's representative, then it gives you the full picture. I'm an epidemiologist by training, so I deal with numbers. So, but all the same, I am sure you have your methodology lined up. You know exactly what you are going to do.
The manner that we conduct the mission is that we engage electoral stakeholders, have discussions with them, and these are the discussions that inform us of their views concerning the entire electoral process. And it's these views that we receive from them that then inform us to prepare a better and informed report which we submit to the chairperson of the program.
The SADC Advisory Council, led by Judge Dikgang Dlamini and the officers from SADC Secretariat, will be in Botswana until April 30 and will be going around the country to meet with key stakeholders. I'm Galamula TV News, Gaborone.
And the Minister for Entrepreneurship, Karabo Khare, says Botswana should refrain from sharing misleading information about government initiatives that are aimed at improving their lives. He mentioned this at the Chema and Free Electricity Mentorship Session at Ramotswa Village. Lone Sekobo.
With intentions to transform Botswana to a high-income country, the government has brought initiatives which intends to improve the lives of her citizens, and Mr. Khare urged the public to utilize available programs as they are mainly focused on personal development. He further stated that the Chema program will transform their lives as well as transform the country's economy.
At individual level. Ribua ka lenaneo le leng gore le ka thusa go atolosa matshelo a rona ka dikgwebo tse di potlana. Gate nonyane ya motsoga pele e ja go se se nonneng. A re nne le tsepamo ya gore nka itirela mo botshelong ba me.
Representatives from relevant departments shared ways on how to benefit from these initiatives with the public.
Rona ha re sena go approve gora gore o tshwantse gore o bo dira training yone e ba le ba e dira le rona gore ba go thusa gore o nne le bokgoni ja go ka tsamaisa botoka kana ke re ha go te o mo go bi motana ke re tsoka gore go bo helong ja letsatsi go kgone go gola o ska nnela motana ruri
lenaneo le bile matlo hela ha ona le ntlo bonno mo le hatsere go tsenyetsa motlakase se se regala o fila ina application form ya rona o botla ka moruti wa setlankana o re haditseng o botla le ka o mang o re haditseng certified copy of mang certified copy of plot certificate o boka apply monna ne ole mongwe le mongwe ha go kgetholle gore ke mang kana ha se mang a wa mogala 5 thebenyana ka nna yana kana wa mogala madinyana a botoka re go tsenyetsa motlakase mahala.
The public was encouraged to always use government initiatives to sustain their livelihoods and ignore negative and misleading information. Lone Sekobo, BTV News, Ramotswa.
And that's how we end our bulletin at this hour. Thank you for watching and staying with us. Sports is coming up next.
Thank you so much, Kaelo. Good afternoon. I am Liza Oseking with your world of sport. And in our first story this hour, sensational local biker Ross Branch says he is honored to have been nominated for this year's Botswana Sports Awards in Sportsman of the Year category. Branch says the nomination is an indication that what he is doing for the country is being valued and recognized. Kalahari Ferrari, who made a historic podium finish at the 2024 Dakar Rally, finishing in second place for his team Hero Motorsports Team Rally, has been nominated for the Sportsman of the Year alongside sprint sensation Litsile Tebogo and Karabo Motlanka of cricket. The 43rd edition of the Botswana Sports Awards is scheduled for the 18th of May at Royal Area Convention Centre in Tlokweng.
The 37-year-old branch started the 2024 season on a high note, making history by securing a podium finish for the first time at the Dakar Rally in January, where he finished second, as well as finishing second in the bikes category before finishing fourth overall, among other achievements. The Monster Energy Honda rider is currently leading the World Rally Raid Championship standings with 61 points, with a 21 points advantage over second-placed Van Beveren of France, who is on 40 points.
It's been a really amazing season so far for me, starting off with the day.
We apologize for that wrong clip, but moving on, International Master Providence Watlotse is the winner of the open section of the annual Metropolitan Chess Championships, while woman candidate Master Natalie Banda defended the title in the ladies section. The 4-day championship was sponsored by Metropolitan Botswana to the tune of 152,000 pula. Tumelo Tafila.
Women candidate Master Natalie Banda said despite starting the first 3 rounds of the championships on a low note, discipline, determination and hard work spurred her to win the tournament with 7 points and walked away with 9,000 pula. Woman FIDE Master Naledi Marape came second, while Refilwe Gabatshware finished third.
On the first day, on Thursday, we had 3 games and I didn't play well. I finished with 1.5 out of 3, and I remember I checked the final rankings after round 3 and I was position 6 and keep on getting here. Could am I even going to win? Me 2 weeks prior to the championship, I was here for the final whistle getting. Now I'm going to defend it, what. But I would say, after that I started playing well. I was still confident because it was a 9-round tournament and we'd only played 3 games. So I said to myself, well, you know what? I can't judge the outcome of a tournament when we've only played 3 games.
As for the open section men's category, International Master Providence Watlotse scooped 11,000 pula in position 1 after accumulating 8 points, followed by Monatsheko Geletshabile, while Tuso Musuta settled for 3rd position.
The local competition has improved a lot. We have a lot of crop from the young folks who are doing extremely well. There were 5 young guys actually at this tournament and 5 of us, the old guys. So focusing on other events, I'm actually going to be playing another international tournament in Namibia soon. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I feel great about this event.
According to the public relations officer of the Botswana Chess Federation, Ruitsi Modimu Makgadle, said the players outdid themselves, a clear indication that the sport is growing.
That Metropolitan has been growing over time. So you'd recall that this is the 2nd time now by the sponsorship you recall this year, even last year it stood at 152,800 pula. Over sponsor 75,000. So players get motivated more, even increase the incentives.
The next major assignment on BCF's calendar is the Chess Olympics billed for Budapest, Hungary this year in September. Tumelo Tafila, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Well, and that is it for sport this hour. I'll be back with more at 5, but stay tuned because In Context continues with Kaelo Sabone.
Ha ke santse ke ile ko nageng ke re ke a emelela ke ha ke utlwa e tama phanyana ha ke re ana ke ithelele hore e taeta bogile ko gonna ke be ke re ke sule ha e tae be tae thula